Good day, student. My name is Teacher Godwin Igbawar. I'm the teacher of 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade in Scotland High School. So these 3 grades, I teach English language. During this period, we are going to be taking classes through videos while you are at home. Knowledge is very important. The teachers of Scotland High School are set to build knowledge in all of our students. So during this process, we are going to be using videos to improve your knowledge, to impart wisdom, to impart education inside of all our students while you are at home. And as an English teacher of 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade, I'm going to be teaching you English through your student book and your workbook. And we are going to be doing such activities. And with the videos, I'm going to be explaining things to you. The purpose of all the teachers in Scotland High School is to see that we build our students. Good day, student. My name is Teacher Godwin Igbawar. I'm the English teacher of 9th grade in Scotland High School. This is the 2nd week of the online class. Now, you are to look at your student book. We are going to be looking at a very interesting topic in our student book. Unit 16, page 92, which talks about languages in the world. It means we are going to be looking at the different languages in the world. It's very important that as a student, you should be able to learn at least 2 languages apart from your native language. So in the world, we have over 7,000 languages around the world. Wow! Over 7,000 languages in the world. Different continent has their different languages. Now in Europe continent, we have over 284 languages. Look at it. Over 284 languages. This includes Spanish, Portuguese, of course, English. Now, in English, according to the record of your student book in Unit 16, page 92, English is the 3rd largest language in the world. English is the 3rd largest languages in the world. And with 335 million speakers. Wow! Can you imagine that? English language is the 3rd language in the world. Over 335 million speakers. That is very big. Now in Asia continent, you have to understand how to pronounce words or how to pronounce figures in English. In Asia, we have 2,303 languages in Asia continent. I repeat again, in Asia continent, we have 2,303 languages. This is very big. And then let's go to the Americans. The American has 1,060 languages in the American continent. we have 1,016 languages. Now, if you look at Africa, in Africa we have 2,146 languages in Africa continent. Now, I want you to understand that Africa, we have 55 countries that make up Africa. 55 countries that makes up Africa. And these are the languages, 2,146 languages. In Africa, we have numerous languages, but English is the most important in Africa, especially in Nigeria. In Africa, we have other people speaking Portuguese, French, English, and many more. But English language is the official language in Africa. Now, if you look at Australia, Australia have 1,311 languages. 1,311 languages. In Australia, English language is also an official language in Australia as well. So if you look around the world, you can see that we have a lot of languages. And it's important that as a student, you don't just rest in one language. No, you have to learn how to speak other languages. This will help you, this will give you opportunities in life, and this will open your mind as a student to be able to learn other languages. For example, in Ecuador, we have the lingua franca in Ecuador, which is Spanish. Everyone speaks Spanish, of course. And then I was told that there are other languages in Ecuador, which is very good. We have other languages that will still help you as a student to develop yourself, so that if you go to other places, you can be able to interact, you can be able to communicate, you can be able to make friends, you can be able to do anything you want to do as a young person. So, English language is still one of the important languages in the world. Don't forget, if you look at this, that English is the third largest language in the world. Over 335 million speakers. That means English language has taken a big shape, a big position around the world. Thank you very much, student of 9th grade in Scotland High School. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video. My name remains Godwin Igbawar, the English teacher of 9th grade in Scotland High School. Hello student, this is another short video of 9th grade class of English in Scotland High School. My name is Godwin Igbawar. Now we have been able to look at the numbers of languages we have around the world. Like I told you in the other video, we have over 7,000 languages around the world with different continents. In Asia continent, in Europe continent, in African continent, in America continent, as well as Australia continent. So we have different languages around the world. And I told you that it's very important that you should be able to speak at least 2 languages. Sure. Now, we also saw that English is the 3rd largest language around the world. That's very wonderful. The third language around the world. Now, over 335 million of speakers. That means 335 millions of speakers. You see, 335 millions of speakers in English around the world. That's to tell you that English language is very important. And I want you to know that English language is fun. Sure, English language is fun. But if you don't have the interest, it will be boring. Sometimes English language is boring for some persons because most of the students don't have interest. You must develop the interest of learning English. If the interest is not there, it will be boring. Let's take example. I'm an English teacher, a native English speaker. I don't speak Spanish. I don't understand Spanish. I just understand very little of Spanish. But what I do is this. The first thing I did was to develop interest to speak Spanish. I have the interest to speak Spanish. And sometimes I listen to Spanish songs. Sometimes I watch Spanish movies. If I'm listening to Spanish songs and I'm watching Spanish movies, I don't understand. But because the interest is there, I pay attention to be able to pick at least one word of Spanish. For example, if I'm around people and as they are talking, I want to pick a particular word. Sometimes if I hear donde, I will know that, okay, I know what they're talking about. It means where. The same in English. I gave myself as example. Even if you don't understand English, you must learn how to listen. If you can listen, then you can understand. Okay? Now, briefly, I want to teach you how to use the capital letter in English. Sometimes most students don't understand how to use the capital letter in English. English have rules. English have principle. For example, the capital letter of A is this. The capital letter of R is this. This is the small letter of A and the small letter of R. Then we have J, the capital letter, and we have little g for capital letter. This you have to understand. And also, if you are writing sentences in English, this is what we call full stop. This is what we call comma. This is what we call question mark. So in English, this is called full stop, comma, question mark. Alright? When you are writing sentence, you must follow the principle of full stop. For example, I love to learn English. Okay? I love to learn English. I love to learn English. You start your sentence with capital letter. You don't start your sentence with small letter. No. In English, it's bad. In English, you start your sentence with capital letter. And within the space of the letter, of the sentence, it has to be this way. Then when you stop in here, you don't start with small letter. You start with capital letter. I love to learn English. It's what I like. Do you understand? Capital letter. Why? Because full stop. When you make a full stop and you want to continue, it has to be with capital letter. If there is no full stop, continue with the small letter. So with this, if you look at your workbook in page 6 to 7, it talks about capital letter on how to use it. Thank you very much for taking your time, 9th grade, in this English class in Scotland High School. Thank you very much.